And, coming into probably one of the bigger defamation cases of this year is what's been going on with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp lawsuit. And I know you and your firm have done a wonderful job keeping your followers and clients and the general public updated on that. Let's talk about that. What gave rise to this lawsuit? Why is this so back and forth? Why is it just drama?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So for those who are keeping up, basically there's two lawsuits. They are independent of one another. One is in the UK. That's the one that most recently people are yapping about because basically Johnny Depp's case as a matter of law was dismissed recently in the UK. So that case was Johnny Depp suing a publisher because in UK you don't have Section 230, so you can sue publishers without getting these obstructions. To nice. right, keeping publishers honest. So he sued them for basically their article wherein they called him a wife beater, basically, and said he abuses Amber Heard. He's physically violent towards her. And so he sued for defamation. And so naturally, you have to similar to our American system, you have the burden. Plaintiff has the burden of proof, so he has to prove the falsity of the statement. So there's a testimony by him, by Amber Heard. There's evidence, people coming forward saying, this is why he's not an abuser. She's the aggressor. This is why he is an abuser. Here's the, so-called evidence. And so this was before a judge, on this particular motion. And the judge looked at it and said, I'm sorry, but I actually believe that there's sufficient evidence to conclude that a newspaper could conclude that he could be a wife beater. And I thought that was a gross miscarriage of justice. And I haven't seen all of the evidence. But speaking purely as a lawyer, which is what our job is, looking at the facts, there is audio of Amber Heard admitting to throwing pots and pans at Johnny Depp. And 3 months before this audio is 3 months before their divorce, in 2016, her chief complaint is not abuse. In fact, I don't think she ever claims that he was even the aggressor in any of those audio tapes. And yet you have after the divorce, you have all these allegations that, well, actually he was physically violent. But going back to what was produced in the UK case, I don't know all the evidence. I haven't seen everything, but there's some testimony to support this idea that there is not sufficient evidence for a newspaper to be claiming that he is a wife beater.
It's not their job.
Right. And so I was set back by it from a legal process standpoint again. And there's something else going on in the background, right? So let me pause for a second. There's a US case that's still pending, right? I think it's in LA County Court. I don't remember. But it's Johnny Depp suing Amber Heard directly for first party statements that she's made. And so that case is still going. But if you watch, I don't know if you've seen any of the court TV deposition videos. It's on YouTube. You can watch it.
Yeah, sure.
Amber Heard comes unhinged in a way that is kind of scary. And once again, the scintilla of evidence in her favor to show that actually Johnny Depp is an abuser, I don't see the weight of it compared to the weight of Johnny Depp's evidence. Winona Ryder testified. She was ex-fiance of Johnny Depp. She testified in UK and said this has never been the case. Many people came forward and said Johnny Depp has actually been complaining about Amber Heard being abusive, right? And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the U.S. You've probably seen video of or pictures of Johnny Depp in the hospital with the lacerated finger. And who's denying that happened?
We have the COVID-19 pandemic has revealed a very disturbing, atmosphere or landscape for at least the U.S. And it's a systemic bias on many accounts on grounds of race, equality, social justice, and the idea that a man cannot also be a victim of physical abuse, harm, sexual assault is problematic. Now, granted, it goes the same way. Not all men feel that they can come out and share their story, just as a lot of women don't feel safe to come out themselves. So I think that plays into it in this case, that there's this notion that, well, it's Johnny Depp, he's bigger, he's her, and who could ever abuse him, right? And I think those are arguments that should be taken into account. But what I've noticed is that regardless of what side you're on, I'm on, anybody is on, there's a potential for individuals like you and I to be defamed ourselves.